6 senior Labour frontbenchers resigned tonight as Jeremy Corbyn was rocked by the biggest Brexit rebellion to hit his party. The Labour leader had demanded his MPs abstain on a vote about whether Britain should seek to join the European Economic Area after leaving the EU. However, 89 Labour members refused to follow the orders, with 15 backing the government, who easily won the vote rejecting the idea. More than 70 Labour MPs voted yes. Joining the EEA after Brexit would leave Britain inside the single market, defying the referendum, according to Brexiteers, as it would mean accepting free movement and not making trade deals. The Labour disarray left Corbyn's team unable to capitalise on Brexit chaos inside the government after Theresa May narrowly avoided defeat on Brexit earlier in the week. Laura Smith resigned as a shadow Cabinet Office Minister, while Ged Killen, Ellie Reeves, Tanya Antoniazzi, Rosie Duffield and Anna McMorran all quit as parliamentary aides. Mr Corbyn thanked all the MPs for working on the front but stood by Labour policy of withdrawing from the single market and staying outside the EEA. The government won 327 to 201. 3 Conservatives, Anna Soubry, Ken Clarke and Dominic Grieve, broke in the Tory whip to vote in favour of the EEA. The Labour leader said, "I understand the difficulties MPs representing constituencies which voted strongly for Leave or Remain have on the EEA amendment to the EU withdrawal bill. The Labour Party respects the outcome of the EU referendum and does not support the EEA or Norway model as it is not the right for option for Britain. It would leave us with next to no say over rules we have to follow. It does not allow us to negotiate a new comprehensive UK-EU customs union and it fails to resolve the Irish border issue. But we are not voting with the government on this amendment because the Conservatives offer no plan for securing the full tariff-free access to the EU's internal market, which is so vital for jobs and living standards in our country." Labour's version of an EEA policy was defeated as expected 322 to 240. During today's debate, Labour MP Chuka Umunna said he will defy the whip and vote in favour of the Lords' amendment which obliges the government to prioritise staying in the European Economic Area. Mr Umunna added that leaving the EEA would not solve problems which had been played out as the fault of free movement and immigration during the referendum campaign. The Streatham MP said, "Curbing Commonwealth immigration then and ending EU free movement now did and is not going to solve these problems and we know it. That is why Labour governments have always addressed these problems by properly funding the NHS, by having a national minimum wage, investing in our schools and so on. That is why I will be voting for my frontbench's amendment but also the Lords' amendment too." Former Europe Minister Pat McFadden said the UK economy was dominated by services governed by common rules and regulations and not by tariffs. Referring to the EEA, European Economic Area, he said, "So it seems to me that the idea of taking the only existing model of full participation in the single market while not being a member of the European Union off the table would be an unwise and a rash thing to do. It covers both goods and services and it has in it workers' rights and other consumers' rights. Would we rather have those workers' rights enshrined in an international treaty or entrusted to the tender care of the members of the European Research Group that have railed against European regulation?" Home Affairs Committee Chairwoman Yvette Cooper said she would follow the whip tonight, but supported those who made a different decision. She warned against a «Dad's Army» version of Brexit and said the UK is in danger of «turning ourselves into a national joke» by not focusing on the real issues. Ms. Cooper added she believes there is a majority across the country and government in favour of a «close economic relationship», which means some version of single market participation, or as close as the UK can get to it. Less than BR greater than Theresa May survived a major battle last night over whether Parliament should get a «meaningful vote» on any final package with the EU. However, Tory rebels are threatening to come back to the issue at a later stage. The Labour leadership has tried to defuse the looming EEA row by tabling its own amendment to the bill aimed at delivering the same benefits as single market membership. But the move infuriated many Labour MPs who said it stands no chance of passing the Commons and merely guaranteed that the Lords measure would be defeated. Less than span class equals mole style bold greater than the division list showed that 74 Labour MPs rebelled to vote against disagreeing with the Lords' EEA amendment.